I've made the joke or the comment several times that I just wish I grew up rich enough for me to have socialistic opinions because apparently that is a prerequisite to have such collectivist societal outlooks on the world. Mamdani is one of many socialists who became socialists through the wealthy track, which again, I just wish I could have been there. Let's bring our panel back to discuss Mamdani. And I know I'm pronouncing it wrong. I don't know. As a guy with a weird name, I feel like I'm allowed to make fun of other people's names. So that's what I'm doing here. Priya Patel, William Donahue. Priya, this is coming to, I mean, we've all known this because he's talked about it, but kind of one of the bigger arguments here is, interestingly enough, an argument as to why the government shouldn't subsidize housing. The guy makes $142,000 a year, grew up insanely rich. His family has an entire compound in a different country, yet he pays $2,300 a month in a rent-controlled apartment, basically taking from the public system something that should have been allocated for somebody who needs it specifically, and a guy who's advocating for people who need it, again, is stealing from them. The irony is too rich, Priya. What do you make of the fact that Mamdani is effectively stealing from the people that he claims to be helping?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an example that we need to call more attention to, especially for the quote unquote constituents that would be voting Mamdani into office or as mayor of New York City. And it is just ridiculous that you're on one hand calling for the government subsidization of housing in New York City, and essentially, like you said, taking away from somebody that might truly need that. You're taking away from the single mom with two kids that can barely make ends meet. And for you to sit here and make over $100,000 a year and in a flat in New York that is just around, I think it was $2,800, is just ridiculous. I mean, you're just essentially mooching off the system when you don't even deserve it at that point.
Yeah, $2,300. And so it's even cheaper than that, which find me a $2,300 apartment in New York City and I'll take it, man. I don't like New York City, but that's a pretty good deal. William, I guess back to the irony of this is, like, you're proving the point as to why the government shouldn't be involved in this, because rich people, or just people in general, will take advantage of it. And he happens to be a rich person taking an advantage of it. But that's why we want to roll back all of these programs. I guess, thank you, Mamdani, for showing that the reason why we don't want this is because people take advantage of it. Your thoughts?
As I recently started a political consulting firm, and one of the things that we're working on is creating campaign slogans. I think a great one to start with is champagne socialism. We're popping champagne bottles in rent stabilized units, but ultimately housing policy needs to help the needy. We can't be helping the connected. We should be really running with end aristocratic socialism. I think that's the tagline going forward. But let me be clear, as Obama used to say, you cannot crusade for the poor while hoarding their subsidies. It's morally corrupt, and the people of New York need to see it and they need to vote accordingly.
Wow, invoking an Obama quote there. I like that. That's and a pretty good point. Yeah, it's very stupid and ironic to do such a thing, and yet libs continue to do it.